Alright, hey guys, so we did a video already, but because I held it the wrong way, we're doing it again.
Alright, so day 2.
Okay, so...
Day 2. We finished the timeline of Suzanne Lyons.
Gotta show the book,
Of indie film producing, the craft of low-budget filmmaking.
Boom.
So in there she has a pretty detailed timeline of her path, her timeline for her movie Seance.
Yep.
And so we basically went through everything and wrote down notes. And it was from, her thing was from September 2005 to a finished product and delivery in December.
You're standing in the light. You're in the light.
December 2006.
Alright, so one of the big differences here with what she's explaining versus what we're doing is that she did a production for SAG ultra low budget for $200,000 where she had investors and whatnot. We are not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing probably we'll say 5,000, but really it'll and so there's a lot of things that she put in her timeline that we're not necessarily going to worry too much about. But even when going to VOD, which is what we're trying to do with our feature, there's a lot of things that I know we're going to have to put in as far as like deliverables are concerned. So there's a lot of stuff in what she's saying that we're paying attention to, but it's we're trying not to overwhelm ourselves, I guess, with everything.
Yeah, because there are a lot of deliverables for a movie if you don't get it on VOD, if you're trying to get like hardcore distribution for it. So she was kind of gearing her project towards the American film market, which is in November every year, and we figured... we figured if we're going to try to get this horror movie done by Halloween, then we should definitely try to get it to the American film market as well.
And in saying that, we do know that there are some stuff. There's paperwork and whatnot that needs to be filled out that is necessary for the American film market as far as deliverables are concerned, because it's kind of a slippery slope. Like, we're saying we want to go to VOD, but then now we're saying that we want to do the American film market kind of thing.
Well,
but it's one of those things where it's like, we're going to try and do as much as we can to try and get to the American film market. And I know it's actually, like, I think it's pretty hard to get into the American film market.
Really?
Yeah. Now that we're talking about it.
Okay. Well... But, I mean, she basically did it in a year and 3 months. We're going to try to do it in 6 months. So right now we're just trying to go down the timeline and putting tentative dates, just so that we have something on paper and it could be realized and focused on. That's the big thing. But it's kind of overwhelming. We're a little overwhelmed at the moment.
In a good way. Because...
We're really glad.
We're making... So we're going... the goal is we're trying to read 7 pages a day, and by the end of a month, we'll hopefully finish this book. And what's nice about it is that we are taking notes as we're going along and reading it, and then also creating flashcards for terminology and vocabulary that we just don't understand. So it's a whole level of the movie-making process that we just... Didn't know,
but we have to.
And it's like the bones, I feel like, of the whole thing of getting a movie from an idea to distributed. So I think that's why it's overwhelming, is because we've just been looking at the face of movies, and now we're kind of really jumping into the internal structure of how it all gets produced and made. But yeah, so I think that's good for today.
Well, we could say what we're going to do today. So we're going to try to write 5 pages a day, but today we're just gonna try to do like a 30-minute free write because we don't have too much of a story yet.
So one of the things that we're not worried about in terms of like the portion of getting an option for the script or anything like that is because we are actually going to be doing, for learning purposes and also just to kind of get the ball rolling, we're going to be wearing a lot of different hats on this project, and so we are going to be not only she'll be probably main writing, but we'll co-write the screenplay, and then both produce it. The plan is at the moment to have me direct it, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, I mean, among many other things, positions, we'll be doing mostly everything. But I won't be acting in it because that's my background. But I'm glad I won't be doing that. It's just because it just makes it so much more challenging. Yeah. So right now we're writing a timeline, and
we're gonna be ready.
When we're gonna be ready, and then we're going to do just kind of a freeform right after this to get the story. We've already talked about the idea of our horror, and now we're just gonna start putting 5 pages each a day into it. So that'll be kind of exciting to break apart what we've written and see how we can structure it, and then also be using Blake Snyder's Save the Cat to really give it the structure that it needs, especially just for our first major feature together. So other than that, that's all for now, and we'll be back with tomorrow's vlog.
Signing out from Tin Tam Entertainment. Find us on Facebook.
All right, bye.